The day I left for my business trip, I never imagined I'd return to find my entire world shattered. My sister Rebecca had promised to take care of my daughter Lily while I was away. She had reassured me countless times, saying, "Don't worry, I'll treat her like my own." I believed her. After all, she was my sister. How could I not trust her? But I was wrong. So very painfully wrong. It all started with a phone call. I was in my hotel room, exhausted after back-to-back meetings, when my phone rang. It was my neighbor, Mrs. Caldwell, a kind, elderly woman who always looked out for us. "Emily dear," she said, her voice laced with urgency. "I don't mean to alarm you, but I just found Lily sitting outside on the porch crying. She says Rebecca locked her out." My breath hitched. "What? That can't be right." "I wouldn't have believed it either," she said softly. "But she's here, and she looks so scared, sweetheart." My heart pounded as a rush of panic set in. "Please stay with her. I'll call Rebecca right now." I ended the call and immediately dialed my sister. She didn't pick up. Called again. Nothing. My hands shook as I tried a third time, only to be sent straight to voicemail. My mind raced with questions. Why would Rebecca lock Lily out? What happened? Was she okay? Desperate for answers, I texted Rebecca. "Pick up the phone. Now." 10 minutes passed. Then 20. No response. My anxiety turned into anger. I had entrusted my only child to my sister, and this is what she did. I couldn't stay in that hotel room another second. I threw my belongings into my suitcase, booked the earliest flight home, and raced to the airport, my hands clenched into fists the entire time. When I finally arrived back home, it was past midnight. Mrs. Caldwell was sitting on her porch with Lily curled up beside her, wrapped in a thick blanket. The moment my daughter saw me, she burst into tears. "Mommy!" she sobbed, running into my arms. I held her tightly, my throat closing up. "Baby, I'm here. I'm so sorry. Tell me what happened." Her little body trembled. "Aunt Rebecca got mad at me. She said I was annoying and that she didn't have time for a brat like me. Then she told me to go outside to think about my attitude. But she never let me back in." Tears of fury burned my eyes. "How long were you outside?" Lily sniffled. "A long time. I knocked and knocked, but she ignored me. Then it got dark, and I got scared." I clenched my jaw, rage boiling inside me. How could my own sister do this to an innocent child? To my child. Mrs. Caldwell patted my shoulder gently. "I stayed with her as soon as I saw her, but you should know. Rebecca left. I saw her drive off hours ago." "She left?" I echoed, my voice barely a whisper. Mrs. Caldwell nodded. "She didn't even look back." That was the moment something inside me snapped. I carried Lily inside, tucking her into bed, brushing her hair gently as she finally drifted off to sleep. Then I pulled out my phone and dialed Rebecca's number one last time. She answered on the first ring. "Oh, Emily, I was going to call you." Her voice was fake, saccharine, as if nothing had happened. "Save it," I said coldly. "I know what you did. You abandoned my daughter. You threw her out like she was nothing. What kind of person does that?" She huffed. "Oh, come on. She's overreacting. I just needed some peace and quiet." She was being difficult, and I figured a little time outside would teach her a lesson. "She's 10, Rebecca. You locked her out at night and then left. That's child neglect. Do you have any idea what could have happened to her?" She scoffed. "Don't be dramatic. She was fine." "No, she wasn't." My voice trembled with rage. "She was terrified. And if it weren't for Mrs. Caldwell, she would have been alone for hours. I trusted you and you broke that trust. You put my child in danger." Silence stretched between us before Rebecca finally muttered, "Look, I messed up, okay? But it's not a big deal. Let's just move on." I laughed bitterly. "Move on? Do you think I'll ever forgive you for this? You betrayed me. You betrayed her." She let out an exaggerated sigh. "You're being so dramatic. Fine, if you're going to be like this, then maybe we should just take some time apart. I don't need this stress." I shook my head in disbelief. "You're unbelievable. You don't even feel guilty, do you?" "Guilt? Please. She's just a kid. She'll forget it in a few days." That was the last straw. "You're dead to me, Rebecca. Don't ever come near my daughter again." Before she could respond, I ended the call. My entire body shook as I sat down, overwhelmed by rage and heartbreak. How had I never seen this side of my sister before? Had she always been this cruel, or had she changed over the years? One thing was clear, she wasn't family anymore. I would protect Lily with everything I had. And if Rebecca thought she could just walk away from this without consequences, she was in for a rude awakening. Because I wasn't done with her yet. The morning after that disastrous phone call with Rebecca, I woke up to find Lily curled up beside me, her little hand gripping mine even in sleep. My heart clenched as I watched her peaceful face. How could anyone, especially my own sister, treat her so cruelly? As I brushed a strand of hair from her forehead, I made a silent vow. I would never let anyone hurt her like that again. And I would make sure Rebecca faced the consequences of her actions. The first thing I did was call my lawyer. I didn't know if I had a legal case against Rebecca, but I wanted to make sure she had no way of ever being near Lily again. "Emily, this is serious," my lawyer, Mr. Peterson, said. "What she did could be considered child endangerment. If you want, we can take legal action." I hesitated. A part of me wanted nothing more than to drag Rebecca through the mud for what she had done. But another part of me knew that getting the law involved would escalate things beyond repair. "Let me think about it," I said. "For now, I just want to make sure she stays away from us." After ending the call, I focused on making the morning as normal as possible for Lily. I made her favorite pancakes, and we sat together at the kitchen table. She was quiet, pushing her food around with her fork. "Sweetheart, are you okay?" I asked gently. She looked up at me with big, sad eyes. "Mommy, why does Aunt Rebecca hate me?" I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Oh, baby, she doesn't hate you. She just made a terrible mistake. But that has nothing to do with you. You are kind, smart, and so loved." Lily didn't seem convinced, but she nodded. "Are we going to see her again?" "No," I said firmly. "I promise you, she won't be around us anymore." Just then my phone buzzed. I glanced at the screen and saw Rebecca's name. I ignored it. A minute later, another call. Then another. And then a text. "Rebecca, Emily, please pick up. I need to talk to you. Rebecca, I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. Please don't cut me off." I rolled my eyes and turned off my phone. Now she wanted to apologize. Now, after the damage was already done. Hours passed, and I focused on cleaning the house and playing with Lily, trying to push my sister out of my mind. But by the afternoon there was a knock at my door. Tensed. My gut told me exactly who it was. I opened the door to find Rebecca standing there, looking disheveled, her eyes puffy from crying. "Emily, please. Just hear me out." I crossed my arms. "You have 2 minutes." She let out a shaky breath. "I messed up. I was overwhelmed and I wasn't thinking straight. I didn't mean to hurt Lily. I just needed some space." I narrowed my eyes. "So you threw a child out into the night? That's your excuse?" "It wasn't like that. I just needed a break." "A break?" I laughed bitterly. "Rebecca, she's 10. She's a child. And you abandoned her." Tears welled up in her eyes. I know I was wrong. But please don't shut me out. We're family." I shook my head. "No, family doesn't do what you did. You betrayed me. You betrayed her." She grabbed my hand. "I'll do anything to fix this. Please, Emily. I need you." Pulled away. "You needed me before you made the choice to abandon my daughter. Now you need to live with the consequences." Rebecca opened her mouth to argue, but I shut the door in her face. I leaned against it, my heart pounding. I knew this wasn't over. But I also knew one thing for certain. I would never let her near Lily again. The days following Rebecca's desperate plea at my doorstep were eerily quiet. She stopped calling, stopped texting. A part of me expected her to show up again, to force her way back into my life with another round of apologies. But she didn't. I should have felt relieved, but instead, an unsettling feeling gnawed at me. Lily, on the other hand, was slowly returning to her normal self. The nightmares had lessened, and she was smiling more. I knew it would take time, but every little laugh, every hug reassured me that I had made the right decision to cut Rebecca off. One evening, just as I was tucking Lily into bed, my phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. I hesitated before answering. "Hello. Emily, please don't hang up." Rebecca's voice came through the line. "I just need to talk. One last time." Clenched my jaw. "Rebecca, I told you. I know you hate me and I deserve it. But I need to explain something. Please." Something in her voice was different this time. She sounded exhausted, defeated. Against my better judgment, I sighed. 5 minutes. That's all you get. Not over the phone. Can we meet? Just once. At the park tomorrow morning. I hesitated. Every instinct told me not to. But curiosity got the better of me. Fine. But if you pull any stunts, Rebecca, I swear. I won't. Thank you, Emily. You won't regret this. The next morning, I arrived at the park early, watching as Rebecca approached. She looked nothing like the confident, self-assured sister I had once known. Her clothes were wrinkled, dark circles under her eyes. She sat down on the bench beside me and let out a long sigh. I lost my job, she admitted. I've been struggling for months, trying to keep everything together. And then when you left Lily with me. Panic. I snapped. I folded my arms. So you took it out on a child? No. I wasn't thinking. I was overwhelmed. And then when you cut me off, I realized. Have no one, Emily. No one but you. I studied her, trying to determine if this was another one of her manipulations or genuine regret. I want to make it right, she continued. I'll do anything to earn back your trust. Please just tell me how. A part of me wanted to walk away, to tell her that some things couldn't be undone. But another part of me, the one that remembered the sister who used to protect me when we were kids, hesitated. I don't know if I can ever forgive you, I said honestly. But if you truly want to make things right, it's going to take more than words. You need to prove it. Her eyes lit up with hope. I will. Promise, Emily. I'll prove it. As I walked away, I wasn't sure if I had made a mistake giving her this chance. But time would tell if Rebecca's regret was real. Or just another lie. Days passed since my meeting with Rebecca, and despite her promise to change, I remained skeptical. Words were easy. Actions were what truly mattered. I kept my guard up, unwilling to let her anywhere near Lily until I was sure she wouldn't hurt her again. Rebecca began trying to show she had changed. She sent small gifts for Lily. Nothing extravagant, just thoughtful things like a book she used to love or a hand-knitted scarf. She even reached out to ask if she could contribute financially, offering to pay for some of Lily's school expenses. I didn't accept anything at first, but a part of me couldn't ignore the effort. Was she really trying? Or was this just another manipulation? One evening, I was making dinner when Lily came into the kitchen, her expression cautious. Mommy, Aunt Rebecca texted me, she said hesitantly, holding up her small phone. My breath hitched. She what? She said she misses me. Lily's voice was soft, uncertain. She said she was sorry and that she hopes I can forgive her. A flood of emotions rushed through me. Anger, confusion, and a pang of something else I wasn't ready to name. Rebecca had gone behind my back to contact Lily, something I wasn't sure I could forgive. But at the same time, I saw the conflict in my daughter's eyes. She still loved her aunt despite everything. How does that make you feel? Asked carefully. Lily hesitated. I don't know. I want to forgive her. But I'm scared. What if she doesn't really mean it? I knelt beside her and cupped her face gently. Sweetheart, you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. Forgiveness is a choice, not an obligation. She nodded, but the uncertainty didn't leave her face. The next morning I sent Rebecca a message. Emily, don't contact Lily without talking to me first. She responded almost immediately. Rebecca, I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell her I love her. I didn't mean to overstep. Emily, if you're serious about proving yourself, then respect my boundaries. Rebecca, I will. Swear. For the next few weeks, Rebecca continued to show up, not physically but through her actions. She started therapy, got a new job, and even reached out to mutual friends to ask how she could make amends. Despite myself, I started to believe that maybe, just maybe, she was serious. One Saturday morning there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find Rebecca standing there, holding a small box. She looked nervous but determined. I know you don't fully trust me yet, she said. But I wanted to give this to Lily. It was Mom's necklace. I thought she should have it. I took the box and studied her carefully. Rebecca, do you really understand what you did? Do you know how much you hurt her? Her eyes filled with tears. I do. And I'll spend the rest of my life proving I won't ever hurt her again. Sighed, still unsure. But maybe, just maybe, it was time to take the first step toward healing. Rebecca's efforts to regain our trust continued, but I remained cautious. I had spent too many years watching her manipulate people, and I wasn't about to let my guard down completely. Lily, on the other hand, was slowly warming up to the idea of reconnecting with her aunt. She held onto the necklace Rebecca had given her, twirling it between her fingers as if trying to decide whether it truly belonged to her. "Mom," Lily said one evening, her voice hesitant, "can I see Aunt Rebecca? Just for a little while." My heart clenched. "Are you sure that's what you want?" She nodded. "I think so. But only if you're there too." I sighed. "All right. We'll meet her for lunch tomorrow. But if at any point you feel uncomfortable, we leave. No questions asked." Lily smiled and hugged me. "Okay, Mommy. Thank you." The next afternoon we met Rebecca at a small cafe. She looked different, healthier, calmer. Gone was the arrogant, self-assured sister I once knew. She greeted Lily with a soft, nervous smile. "Hey, sweetheart," she said gently. "It's really good to see you." Lily hesitated for a moment, then whispered, "Hi, Aunt Rebecca." Rebecca's eyes shone with unshed tears, but she didn't push. Instead, she let Lily set the pace, asking about school, her favorite books, and even remembering the silly games they used to play. Slowly, the tension eased. As we finished eating, Rebecca turned to me. "Emily, I know I can never undo what I did. But I'm trying to be better. Not just for you and Lily, but for myself too." I studied her carefully. "I appreciate the effort, Rebecca. But trust isn't given, it's earned." She nodded. "I know. And I'll keep earning it, no matter how long it takes." For the first time I felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't another trick. Maybe my sister was truly changing. Lily reached across the table, hesitantly placing her small hand over Rebecca's. "I'm still scared," she admitted. "But I want to try." Rebecca swallowed hard, her voice thick with emotion. "That's all I could ever ask for." I took a deep breath. It wouldn't be easy. The wounds of the past still lingered. But for Lily's sake, and perhaps even my own, I was willing to take the first steps toward healing. Then,